Good morning, everyone. Welcome to the MultiDimensional MD. I'm Dr. Arlene Dijamco, and my mission is to wake up medicine and bring the intuitive spirit back because it was never meant to be separated in the first place. And to do that in practical and tangible ways for you. So if you haven't already liked and subscribed, please do. And today I'm going to be talking about the unfolding the heart. Each week, I want to bring in a piece of what I've been noticing in the last week, because if I start to see a pattern, see it in several patients and people around me, then I know that it's going on for other people. And I know that this information can be really helpful for you, that anyone that's listening. So first of all, what do I mean by unfolding the heart? So what I've been seeing lately is that people are carrying so much, like a big weight on their shoulders. And what's happening is that this weight over time, it's like the straw that broke the camel's back, because it's curling the body in, it's folding the body over. And so when that happens, even if you kind of curled in like this, if I exaggerating it, it folds over on the heart and on the chest and the lungs. So you can feel the difference actually if you practice. It's going to affect really your whole being, because if you stood nice and straight up or sat straight up in a neutral alignment, rolling those shoulders back, chest nice and open, and you took a few breaths there just to practice to see what it feels like, and then you kind of exaggerated, pulled everything in and curled in, and then practice taking a few breaths like that. And then what you'll see, what you'll feel is that it is much easier to breathe, and it feels so much more free when you're in more of a neutral alignment. So even these micro tension, or people are feeling a lot of tension really, and that's why it's starting to feel not just a little bit of this shoulder ache, neck pain, or tension there. What I'm starting to feel is that it's really feeling folded like this in the chest, and that is going to put pressure there. So what else is happening with the heart field? Well, what I'm feeling is that it's like being imploded, like being pulled in, whether someone's doing it kind of subconsciously or even consciously, where they're kind of like pulling into themselves, or also they're feeling like pressure from the outside, maybe too much information, just too much going on. And so all this is sort of impacting their field and kind of pushing it in. And your field is supposed to be like nice and bright all around you. So when this happens, it really feels like you can feel a bit lost, like, and you don't know what to do and you're not sure of yourself. It puts a veil over that light of your heart, and so it can feel a bit more difficult to access. And so what do you do? How can you open that up? There can be some simple things, going to stretching exercises, yoga, Tai Chi. And so you could do some simple shoulder rolls like this and really getting those shoulder blades back into their position. Usually when we have so much that's going on, then see where those shoulders are going to roll in. And I completely know what this feels like. And if you are a caretaker of some sort, whether you're a healthcare or wellness practitioner, you're a parent, you're a teacher, you're taking care of elderly parents, and so many people have this caretaker role, then this is very common in that kind of role, because you feel this weight, this kind of you're taking care of yourself, hopefully, but also taking care of so many people, and it can start to weigh down. And so being able to do shoulder rolls or yoga, like child pose, can really just help to open up some areas in the back, in the shoulders. If going into a bridge pose, you can look these up in yoga or take a yoga class. The wheel pose, if you have a little bit more space there, Or you could take a prop like a bolster and put it under your chest and just lay down and just let yourself kind of feel that, easing out the tension and breathing into whatever you're feeling. It can't be forced, because when you force things, the body wants to pull back in. So you can't pull at tension, it will yank back, and that will create a tug of war in the body. So you have to work with the body and work with the ease and just very gently. And so then the body starts to feel, okay, well, that's not bad. So I can relax some, I can ease into that. And then you can get a bit further. So doing something like that every day. And then from a mindset, mental standpoint, it's being able to notice and recognize how you feel, how that you do have this weight on your shoulders, that you're feeling this pressure, and that you're feeling things kind of curling in, because it's hard to address it if you aren't aware of it. So that's the first step, is just feeling into your body. And now that I'm talking about it, maybe you can have more awareness about it. And this is what's so helpful, when I'm talking to people, because it's like, it's already there, but you're not aware of it. But then once you start to, talk about it and bring attention to it, it's like, oh yeah, I do feel that. Some people they're already feeling it because they're aware of the shoulders, but they aren't aware of like how that's impacting the rest of the body. So the body is always as a whole, your being is always as a whole. And so if you're feeling that in your shoulders, it's not limited to the shoulders. And this is why I really wanted to talk about unfolding, uncurling the heart. Another really easy thing that you can do is to imagine your wings opening up. So if you were to imagine where behind in your back, between your shoulder blades, like if you were to have wings, where would those sprout up? Just imagine them sprouting and then opening up, and then feeling that spaciousness open up. And so that can really help give some support to your shoulders, help to roll them back. And this is just a visual, but the visual or the imagination or the feeling of it, if you can't see it, it really creates like this, where you bring your awareness, it helps bring out that energy. So you can create some expansion in your back, in your shoulders, in your neck. And really important is to help open up the midline. So I'll do this really for every person that comes in, because when there's so much tension and shock in the body, that midline tends to be it's sort of tense in certain areas. And this midline is where all your energy centers are, your chakras are, but it's also where all your endocrine organs are, your hormone centers. So they're either right in the middle, like the pancreas and your solar plexus, or it's on either side, symmetric. Paired, like ovaries or testes or adrenals, around the midline. So opening that up will actually help with your energy centers, and then hopefully also be able to support those endocrine centers as well. And the way you can do this, so I'll do it osteopathically, cranial osteopathically, but the way you can do this for yourself is to simply imagine a light from your center, or from the bottom all the way up, right here in the center of your head. So this is the midline. So if you were to imagine a white light, just a nice clear light, opening up that whole center, and you can feel it, or you can visualize it, or you do it in a way that's easy for you. So feeling in your body is one way, visualizing is another way, or if you needed to draw it out, like you're not so great at visualizing, or it's a little hard to feel, you could just also draw it out, like draw a little gingerbread body, and then kind of like color that midline in. So this act of doing it and bringing your awareness to it brings that energy there and helps to open it up. So any way that you choose to do it can be helpful. So again, you can feel that line in a white light through the energy centers, through your midline, or visualize it. Like if you were to imagine your body in front of you, you could visualize it as if you were, this is a self-treatment. So like if you're your own patient in front of you, or you can draw it out if those other ways are a little bit harder to do. So any of them can be very helpful. Just try it. Just try it. You're not going to mess up. Just to bring awareness there, we'll get it started. And then also like to open up this folded heart. You want to open it up in all directions. So you've started to uncurl it with those exercises and the stretching. You're imagining your wings. You're giving some shoulder support. You are aware of what you're doing, lighting up that midline. So it's also helping it to unfold. And then I want you to imagine in all directions your heart opening up. And I've talked about this before, but it comes out in different ways, like slightly differently when I'm noticing these trends each week. So if you open up your heart in all directions, you can imagine first in front of you, behind you, and I kind of imagine balancing it out, like if you had a string, okay, kind of balancing out so it feels equal on each side, and then right and left sides of you, and then of course above and below. You can do this in any direction, it doesn't matter, but to get all those dimensions in a 3-dimensional, but with your awareness, you're opening up even in like other multi-dimensions. So just imagining that, and again, if you had like a string or a thread, balancing it so that it feels like it's equal on each side, in front and back, right and left, above and below. And that way you can start to unveil your energy center, your heart field, and kind of, it's like it just sort of like pops back open. And I've seen this happen for people over and over again, because when it's folded over, they don't feel like themselves. They have a hard time making decisions or feeling what's right. It's like there's so much anxiety and stress over navigating what to do, how to be. And so when you're able to unfold the heart and open that back up again, then you feel more like yourself. You feel that you can, you feel a bit calmer. You feel more in your body. And then you can step by step make decisions in the world. So this is a quick podcast today, but I hope that was helpful for you. If you have any questions, feel free to message me or leave them in the comments, and definitely like and subscribe. You can also find me on Instagram at All Worlds Health, on Facebook at All Worlds Health and Pediatrics, on TikTok, which is new, at the MultiDimensional MD, so playing around with that, and my website, allworldshealth.com. So lots of love to you. It's Dr. Arlene Dijamco, the MultiDimensional MD. Have a beautiful week, and I will see you next week, 11 a.m. EST.